Well, I thought I'd start making some videos of my new job. Oh, you can hear the radio in the background. Anyway, I got hired as a bus driver. Took me 2 months of training to get my CDL, and then a little more training, practice in driving buses. And this is my third week. Now, because I have no seniority, and there's over 100 drivers, about 105, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I think out of 105, I'm number 104. So maybe in 3 months when they do the bidding again, I might have enough seniority to actually bid on a job. What happens with this, and I'm sure a lot of other bus companies, is you just fill in for whoever's sick or on vacation. So pretty much every day it's a different bus and a different route. So it's a little stressful at times because some days you work 10, 11 hours. You're trying to remember the route. And the way it works is there's different routes, and they put the routes together to make them run. So, like yesterday, I had 3 routes, and so I had to keep track of the 3 different turn-by-turn directions for each route. And they were numbered, 3, 7, and 12. Now, twice I've done the 379, which is 3 different routes. The 3 and the 9 are easy. The 7 is a little more complicated. It really stressed me out the first time because you're trying to, first of all, it's a new job. You're driving a 35 or 40 foot bus. I don't remember what I was driving. Could have been a 30-footer. You're trying to learn how to pick up passengers, how to pull the bus up, looking for passengers because some of the bus stops are not easy to see. And plus do your turn-by-turns, take a left here, take a right here, go a half mile that way. And it's written down, so it's not on GPS, so you have to try to memorize it ahead of time, and then you look at the cheat sheet to get a little help. I've almost quit a few times. I almost quit a couple times in training because what you have to memorize for the pre-trip, you have to memorize it word for word. And there's a lot of stuff you have to memorize that makes no sense, like stuff about the brakes and the power steering box and the lines and the knuckles and the joints. And you have to talk about broken welds under the bus, holes in the frame, things that you can't see. There's no way you could check it. Only the mechanics can check it. But you have to have all the stuff memorized and go through it word for word. And if you don't, you can miss so many things, and then you fail, you have to do it over. And then you have to take a driving test, and you have to drive around with a instructor, tester, and you don't want to make any serious mistakes. Or if you mess up on the written part, I think you can take it again in 2 or 3 days. If you mess up on the driving test, you have to wait a couple weeks. Fortunately, I passed mine, which I was shocked. I consider myself a good driver, but when you're driving a 30 or 40 foot bus, it's a different story. Now, today is a really easy day. I'm doing what they call Link Plus. I pick up people that have appointments. Maybe I'll take them to Walmart. Maybe somebody else will pick them up. I might go to a doctor's office, dialysis, whatever it might be. They need a ride. They have to get approved, fill an application, and then they make an appointment. Somebody. Today, I'm picking those kind of people up and dropping them off wherever they need to go, and then I might pick them up later. Somebody else might pick them up. But today's been a super easy day. I picked up somebody and drove them 15, 20 miles to their house, dropped them off, picked up somebody else in the same town, took them home. They were at physical therapy, I think. It was a gym, so maybe it was just exercise, but I don't know. Anyway, picked up a couple guys, one with a stroller, one in a wheelchair, took them to dialysis. But today's one of those days where I have a lot of breaks. I had like a 40-minute break before my lunch, then I had a 30-minute break. Now I'm looking at the screen, and it's almost an hour. My lunch break is me see. I have 14 minutes left in my lunch break, and then I have like 30 or 40 minutes before I pick up my next customer and take them, I think, to dialysis. Anyway, some days it's just non-stop. You go pick up 2 or 3 people here, drop them off there. You might pick up a person there and then pick up another person, drop one off here, one off there. And that's the Link Plus. Now the regular bus, you have a route or a run, and let's say you're just doing one route and you're just doing that all day long, whether it's 8, 10, 11 hours, and you're just going round and round and round, or back and forth, back and forth. Where I live at is 2 towns separated by a river. Basically it's one town, but it's not. And so you might go from, it's called East Wenatchee and Wenatchee. You might go from one side to the other, back and forth, do that your whole route, or your whole day, 10 hours. And you know, you realize how bad traffic is in a car. Well, just multiply that times 10 when you're in a 30 or 40 foot bus. People don't want to follow the bus, so they do what they can to get in front of it. They cut it off, they pull out in front of it. Now in Washington State, when a bus puts his blinker on, they now have the right of way to merge into traffic. But a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't care. So they hit the gas to try to get by you before you can get out on the road. Now I'll push it just a little bit, start pulling out. I don't want to get in an accident because I'm under probation. I can get fired. But by law, once I turn my blinker on, I have the right of way. People are supposed to yield to me, but a lot of times they don't. I'll give you a view of what I'm driving today, if you can see back there. It's got a chair, there's another chair behind it that folds down. Right now I have it set up to put a wheelchair in here. It's got tie downs for it, ratcheting straps that hold them real secure, and then shoulder seat belts that you have to put on them. Now in a regular bus, they don't have seat belts, and you can ask the customer, if you put somebody in a wheelchair, would you like the shoulder seat belt, shoulder straps? If they say no, you don't have to put it on them, but you do have to secure the wheelchair so they don't go flying. It's just safer if they have the seat belt on. If you had to slam your brakes on, they won't be sliding out of their wheelchair onto the ground and getting hurt. Some of these people are in pretty rough shape. Anyway, this is my first video. I won't keep it too long. Like I said, I almost dropped out in training a couple times just because it just didn't seem like I was ever going to memorize this stuff word for word. It takes a month before you can do it. And I finally told my instructor, I guess it's like eating a big meal. You don't eat the whole thing at once. You take a bite at a time and you work on it until it's all gone. And that's the way training was. I just had to take it day at a time, week at a time, and we got the weekends off, so it gave me a little break to relax, not think so much. I'm 67 years old. I haven't studied that hard in my whole life, not even in college or high school. It was just every day learning new stuff that you'd never heard of before, and trying to memorize a lot of stuff. And then once I did start driving, this is my 3rd week, there's been days, 11 hours of driving, that was so tiring and so stressful that I just went home and told my wife, I think I'm done, I'm going to quit. But I've made it through my days off twice. My days off are in the middle of the week, and it takes my mind off of it, gives me a chance to refocus. And I'm going to try to do this for 5 years. That's my goal. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I also, on the side, buy cars that don't run right, or people want to get rid of them, clean them up, fix them up, sell them, make some extra money.
I just changed your board again.
And I was doing Home Depot deliveries through an app called Roadie for the last year. And I made some decent money, but you spend a lot of money on gas and tires, you know, running your own vehicle. Well, thanks for watching. I may start another channel called Driver Jim, just for my driving stuff. So stay tuned for that if it happens. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you're thinking about driving a bus, well, where I live, you can make $1,000 a week. So you figure normal month, I'm going to make between $4,000 and $5,000 if I get any overtime in. It's got full benefits. They're pretty cheap, $58 a pay period, which is every 2 weeks. So $116, you can cover your whole family. Full insurance. They have a savings program where you can put away, I think it's 6.1%, and they'll match it, so you can save money. It's not a bad gig, but you know, at my age, I really wasn't looking for a good gig. Something I should have started 20, 30 years ago and retired from. But I'm going to give it a shot. I take it day by day. I try, whatever my route is the next day, I try to study it the night before or the morning of, depending on what time I start. Like today I started at 10 o'clock, but there's days when you'll start at 5 o'clock in the morning. So you got to be prepared, get a good night's sleep, look at your route, try to figure out what you're doing. Otherwise, it's going to be even tougher. Thanks again for watching. My lunch break is almost over,
10-4.
and then I just have to wait to go pick up my next customer. Thanks for watching.